Hey guys, this is Julie from Best Ever Marriages, back to talk to you again. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot of new content coming your way and I don't want you to miss any of it. Today, I am here to talk to you about why I think marriage counseling didn't work for me and why I don't think it's the best choice for couples facing marital problems and what I think is better. So, my husband and I have been married for 15 years. We've seen a marriage counselor 3 different times, at one point for over a year. So out of our 15 years of marriage, we probably spent about 2 years worth in marriage counseling and didn't really get anywhere with it. What I think is the problem with marriage counseling is that in marriage counseling, they teach you how to argue better. And they do that by having you rehash all the arguments that you had that week. So you go in to see the marriage counselor, you go home, you fight, you argue, you keep this track record in your head of all the bad things your spouse did, and then you go back to see the marriage counselor and you basically say, this is all the things that they did wrong, and they say, this is all the things she did wrong, and you basically rehash those arguments, determine how you could have argued better, and then you go home and you do it all over again, come back the next week, and you just keep doing it on repeat. The problem is that you're always going to have things that you disagree about with your spouse. So if your go-to inclination is to argue and to fight, then you're always going to have arguments. And you're always going to have fights, and you're going to have more to discuss, and you're just going to rehash it. The other problem is that you're playing the blame game. So essentially, every time you walk into your counselor's office, it's almost like this weird competition starts, and you're trying to get that counselor on your side. And to do that, you have to convince them that these are the reasons why your spouse is wrong and you're right. And this is actually what makes couples therapy really, really hard. Is couples therapy and family therapy, you're depending on someone else to do their part. You're depending on someone else to change. And that counselor is trying to basically play referee between the two of you and help you understand how to argue in a nicer way. So even though, as I mentioned before, we did at least a couple years worth of marriage counseling, that really didn't do the trick for putting us into a healthier and a happier, thriving marriage. What really turned things around for us there was finding a mentor, finding a life coach. And the reason that this is different, the reason that marriage coaching is different than marriage counseling, is because instead of learning what not to do, learning to not yell and to not criticize and to not do all these things so that you can argue better, you learn what you should be doing. So you replace these negative habits with positive habits, and you really shift your focus from what you shouldn't be doing to what you need to be doing. Things that put positivity back into your marriage, and focusing on how to take care of yourself so that you can take care of your marriage. That's the biggest difference in my program versus marriage counseling, is we start out focusing on how do you take care of you. Because a healthier and a happier you is what makes a healthier and a happier marriage. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you would like to talk to me about marriage coaching, you can find me on my Instagram. I'm going to link it down below, and you can direct message me. I'd love to chat with you. Also, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so that you get notifications for my future videos. See you soon.